What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, here with my guy, Perry Sharkey. Once again, way on the other side of the worldwide interwebs. Perry Sharkey, what's going on, my brother?
I ain't nothing much, man. Had a Juneteenth.
Oh, man, who you telling?
Juneteenth pop out concert. Everything. It was great.
We're definitely going to talk about that for Inside the Same Brand for sure. I had no idea it was coming. And when I saw people talking about it, I was like, hey, what are y'all talking about? And so I looked up, I see all these different guys on the screen. I was literally too tired to look at it, man. My job had an event working with Amazon for their Juneteenth celebration. Okay. So by the time I got home, man, I was done. I took a shower, grabbed me some food, man, and got into bed last night. So I missed all those festivities. But I do plan on watching those, but we are going to talk about that for Inside the Same Brain. Also today, our special guest will be Damichael Cole. Big news came out today, and I'm glad that he's here because it seems like the stuff we've been feeling may be coming to pass, that the Grizzlies will be very active this year, including possibly moving on from Marcus Smart, something I've been kind of breadcrumbing around, some slight intel I've been hearing over the summer, as well as just kind of putting two and two together. In our world famous group chat, the Bluff City Bloodline, I won't even tell you who the members are. Group chat that we have that you're included in, Parrish.
Of course.
Well, a lot of people referencing on Twitter, you know what I mean? So it may not be much of a secret of who's in there. But this is something we've been talking about and speculating about for a while. Is Marcus Smart a guy that Coach Ime Udoka would want on his team? A guy who was Defensive Player of the Year with him, his only year there.
Boston, yep.
In Boston, natural leader, guy that can play on the ball, that can defend, pretty much an average three-point shooter in the league, whatever. Just a veteran guy. And you know that the Grizzlies, would value him as well, being a leader on this team. But you wonder, is that the type of guy, especially when you know that Houston is coveting a guy to come in, a proven player. And they were after Mikal Bridges, and you see Brooklyn saying they're not moving Mikal Bridges, right? You got those tweets coming out. Could Marcus Smart be a consolation prize for a very young Houston team who has, especially when you're looking at Dylan Brooks to be the leader? And like I said, the coach is babysitting the babysitter with that particular situation. So I can definitely see it. We've been talking about this forever, and we've been putting trade ideas together on what you would do. It feels like for something like that to happen, I've seen different things where people are saying different, the NBA and the internet has these trade machines, right? And they tell you what the trades work or not. And I've got trades that work on the fans poll joint or whatever it's called, but they don't work on ESPN.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of strange how that whole dynamic works. But I'm not sure of Houston's cap situation. But even with that, I don't think Houston's willing to give up any of their young players on Marcus Smart, right? I don't think they're going to trade a Tari Eason or someone like that. And you see some other deals like Jake Landale and what's the kid who was screwing a nurse in the bubble? I can't remember the dude's name.
House. House.
Those type of guys. You see deals for those type of guys. And the Grizzlies aren't doing anything like that for Marcus Smart. They're not going to do anything that's a cap-saving, money-saving move. It's going to be something where you get another player back. And it's going to be a guy who I think will be your starting small forward on this team. I think that's
I agree.
Likely what it will be. Or someone that can be kind of
another
combo guard.
Another one. Another
somebody that does things that Marcus Smart does. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So some part of what Marcus Smart does. So
not Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, definitely not Dylan Brooks. So Dylan Brooks' money fits right in there.
The contract fits.
Dylan Brooks' money fits right in there, which is crazy. That could you in essence get Dylan Brooks and reroute him somewhere else? Maybe. I don't want to take that chance. I don't want to take any chance of Dylan Brooks being back on this team. I don't think he's the type of guy that can either come off your bench or could be a pleasant stopgap for a guy like Gigi Jackson or his will. I think I'm super good on that. For the vibes, get the game back together, cool. But no, I'm super good on that. But I can definitely see the appeal of a team like Houston with Memphis wanting to get up to 3. Asking for a guy like Marcus Smart and then getting the third team involved and routing a guy this way. Names, I don't know. I don't even want to play around with names. I'll let you guys figure that out.
I got one off the top of the dome. We always mention him over the years, Jeremy Grant. but I don't know how big his contract.
I don't know.
It might be bigger than it though.
His contract might automatically put us in the text. I'm not really sure. But in the comments, you guys can throw ideas that you have, how that could work. I think, and here's the thing, man, and I think that's going to happen. I think that deal is. I think there's going to be a deal where the Grizzlies go up to get Donovan Clingan.
Well, granted, do you think they'll wait to draft night because there's a chance Donovan Clingan could go 1 or 2 at this point?
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a live trade. I think it's going to.
Yeah, it has to happen.
I'm glad you said that because this is what. If you're watching the draft, this is how you can know if that trade. I'm not going to say will or won't, but can or won't happen. I'm going to say if it either can happen or it won't happen. All right. If the Atlanta Hawks draft Reese Share first, we good. That the trade is still alive.
Yeah.
Which means, for all intents and purposes, Washington will draft Alexander Sarr.
Sarr, yeah.
Right. That's happening. If Reese Share goes 1, Sarr goes 2. If Reese Share goes, if Sarr goes 1, nice doing business with you. Nice problem over. No, because Reese Share will still go 2.
I think Reese because Washington won Reese.
Yeah, if either one of those 2 happen, I think you're good, right?
It's Donovan Clingan go 1.
If Clingan goes 1, we done. But if Atlanta goes Reese Share, we're good.
Or Atlanta trade respect. Or Atlanta trade respect themselves. The deal is probably over 2.
Exactly. So if Clingan goes 3, basically to Houston, we cooking. The water's starting to warm up. We got a couple bubbles in, right? And if I think that Kelly Aiko, whatever his name, who covers the Houston area, if he says that if Dalton Connect is the guy that Houston wants, right? If Dalton Connect goes 9, we're boiling. That means that trade probably happened.
Yeah.
That means that the Grizzlies took Dalton Connect at 9, and Houston took, Clingan at 3.
And they're trying to come up with the parameters of the deal.
And we're about. And we're about to make that happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, interesting night draft night could be, man. Very interesting night draft night could be. I'm down for it. I think this is going to happen. I think that the Grizzlies would do whatever it takes to get up to 3, including, future first-round picks. Other news we'll talk about in the three-pointer. Now, we'll talk about this now. Another interesting move of note is that Detroit seems to be all in on Nick Claxton, overspending for Nick Claxton, outbid in Brooklyn, right? If that happens, that means that my guy Jalen Duren could very well be on the market as well. And he's the guy that I think you could get from Detroit without giving up number 9. I think you could give up Santi Aldama in a 2015 first, and we're out of here. And I think
I got a question for you on that one. So with Jalen Duren, I always thought he could be a good defender in the league. And I've been seeing a lot about his defense not being good. And I'm of the opinion that he played for a bad team. Typically, you're not going to play defense when you're not playing for a bad team. So I still believe he could become a good defender. But I also never did see Detroit play. So what's your opinions about hearing about his defense?
I don't watch him. I don't watch him, but he doesn't play beside Jaren Jackson Jr. in Detroit.
Thank you. That's what I'm thinking, too. It's like it's a lot of different
super small. I'm sure they played like Bogdanovich at the 4 at one time. Or even what's the kid they traded to Atlanta with the weird beard?
Sadiq Bey.
Yes, it probably had Sadiq Bey at the 4. And I don't think Duren's that kind of 4-5.
Right.
He's probably more like a 4. He's probably more like your old school, like super energetic 4s from back in the day that were in the 6'8", 6'9" range that would play beside, another taller big. He's probably one of those, really, but they're playing in the center, which he can play. And if he's playing beside Jaren, he definitely could do it. But like I said, if that's a real thing, man, you look at those 2 things as well. That Marcus Smart thing feels super real. And like I said on Twitter, man, if Brooklyn is not, I'm sorry, if Detroit is looking like they're about to sign Nick Claxton, and if that feels real,
might hold off.
Jalen Duren's agent needs to be blowing up Memphis. Like he needs to be trying to get his clients.
Perfect fit next to Jaren. Man.
Because why would he not want him on a team that's young, starting a city he's lived in before?
Exactly.
Like, man, come on, bro. Like,
perfect.
This offseason is about to be off the chain. It's about to be off the chain.
Perfect.
And we're about to take a break, bro, because the man who's about to come on with us, I'm gonna get his thoughts. Perfect timing for him here in the final days before the NBA draft next week. Damichael Cole covers the Memphis Grizzlies for the Commercial Appeal. He's been the GOAT this offseason as far as coverage, everything you need to know as far as the Grizzlies in the offseason are concerned. We're going to take a break. When we come back, my man Damichael Cole will join us here on Anthony Sain Show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Give me your position group or player or however you want to break it down that you're the most confident in and the least confident in.
Whether Arthur Kaluma plays for Memphis or not, it's the backcourt of Tyrese Hunter and PJ Haggerty. Them getting PJ Haggerty this year first was a needle mover to the highest degree, I think, in terms of what kind of expectations for this team. In terms of weakness, depth, maybe. Not having David and not, if they don't land Arthur Kaluma, not having Arthur Kaluma, I think then depth becomes an issue. But I would also counter that and say we probably won't be hearing over the season, why is Penny playing 12 players?
Yeah.
Shorten his rotations. Well, now it's kind of forced to if they don't have the horses off the bench to be able to come in and produce. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for a Penny Hardaway team.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
It is time once again here on the program for what's going on with Caitlin Clark. She's not on the Olympic team. Brevin, are you outraged that Caitlin Clark is not on the Olympic team?
I don't care one bit, Rob.
Oh, man. I thought you'd have a big take.
She's not one of the best players in the world. She is the best marketer for women's basketball right now. Yes. But she's not one of the best players, and all of those people that are on that team are worthy of being there. And it's like, so who will you take off to put her on? And she's played a lot of basketball. I don't see it as being a story of anything other than there are other better basketball players than she is at this moment.
And she'll get there. She'll get there in 4 years probably.
Heck yeah.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show, man. It's looking like what's that joint, man? The Biggest the What tour right here, man, with Drake and Cole on the screen right now, man. My boy Michael Cole is in the building, man. He covers the Memphis Grizzlies for Commercial Appeal. He was the top of my list for the off-season go-to voices for the Memphis Grizzlies for the off-season. You've definitely been the man doing your thing this off-season, bro. Damichael, real fast before we get started, I told you I was going to throw you a curveball I was not going to tell you about. Are you aware of the conspiracies that have started since you were on Chris Ingram's show, the No Bluffing podcast?
What's the conspiracy, bro? What's the conspiracy? Is it something about my voice?
No.
Oh man.
Are you aware that there that people are saying that now, I didn't hear this firsthand. This came back to me from other people, but the word is that that Jaren Jackson Jr. must be on the outs, or that the Grizzlies are tired of Jaren Jackson Jr. because Damichael Cole made a hit piece on Chris Ingram's show.
Oh man, a hit piece on Jaren? I did that. Oh, that's what the word is.
The depths of Twitter, man. There's a. It's real. I've had this come back to me 10 different ways, man, for real. Like that.
I be ducking and dodging, man.
You're part of this agenda. Like they got to you.
they saying Damichael said they using me as
even Damichael is done with this bum, Jaren Jackson. This guy who just comes out there sucking lollipops all game and don't do what they ask him to do, man. Everybody's begging him to rebound, and Jaren saying, nope, not doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched the interview. It was good stuff. Very candid interview for sure. And I think that, and I'll just say this, I do think that is, I think that Jaren's a guy who never has really wanted to play like a big man. I think he's always kind of been ahead of the curve for today's NBA, right? I think he always he's a guy who wasn't always tall. Jaren had a growth spurt, if I'm not mistaken, in his later years in high school. And I think that he's always kind of had the mindset of a perimeter player. Now, do I think that Jaren Jackson Jr. is physically able to get rebounds? Yeah, he's 7 foot tall, and he's getting bigger and bigger every year. But let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Do you think that if there is a focus, and whether it's in the exit interviews or coming into camp or whatever they're doing, do you think that it would be that much of a challenge? Not saying let's make Jaren a 10, 12 rebound guy per game, but can you see Jaren make a leap this year where he goes from, around 5.5 boards to maybe 8 rebounds per game? Do you think that that's something that, if it's an intentional thing by the Grizzlies, can it happen, in your opinion?
It would take some changes, I think, strategically that the Grizzlies don't want to make.
Yeah.
The ideal pairing for Jaren is another big who's going to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And if that's not in the starting lineup, you still want a 4 who's probably going to be a very quality rebounder. Mm-hmm. So I think the best way that the Grizzlies want to kind of use him is more of that roamer role and things like that, which will take him away from the basket a little bit more. But to get to your point, I still don't think that means he shouldn't be a better rebounder.
Yeah.
Because Anthony Davis used to do it.
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis used to, roam early when he was playing power forward with the Pelicans. And he was getting double-digit boards, and 8, 9 boards in his sleep. So I don't think it's too much to ask to say, go snag 7.5.
2.5 more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not too much.
You get 1 this half and 1.5 next half. Can you do it? Yeah.
But it's not this isn't the biggest issue to me. Like I think at this point, Jaren has played long enough. We've talked about this rebounding thing with him in college and in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And it just hasn't been enough improvement for me to just be like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be the year.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, honestly, to me, that's okay. Because for one, the Grizzlies, when you look at the all-around rebounding team, like Vince Williams Jr., really good rebounding guard.
Yep.
Desmond Bain, solid rebounding guard. John Morant is a really good rebounding guard. So they got good rebounding guards. You get that 4 or that 5 that's a solid rebounder, guess what? They'll be just like they were those other 4 years playing when Jaren played alongside of Jonas and Steven Adams, one of the top rebounding teams in the NBA.
Because it makes you wonder, because it's like if you say, okay, Jaren's the 5, and let's play him like a 5. Let's make him. Let's say Jaren gets to the point where, okay, I can go get 8, 9 rebounds a game, and you're playing a 5. Is that even a good version of Jaren Jackson Jr.? Like, if you're asking him to be your defensive anchor with ball 4 or whatever next to him, is that even – because we saw that in the Olympics, and I was like, no, that's –
Yeah. Honestly, though, I think it would be a great version of him because in order for that to happen, like if we're saying Jaren's starting at the 5 and he's averaging 8, 9 boards, to me, that means he's progressed to another level defensively to the point where he can protect the rim. I think more as an on-ball man-to-man, type of defender. Like when he's roaming, he's able to
foul out. I feel him fouling out right now. I feel a bad foul.
That's what he'd have to overcome. Yep. So we said, if you came back a year from now, you said, man, Damichael, Jaren averaged 8 or 9 rebounds, this past season while you asleep somewhere, and the defense was still high grade or high quality. I would automatically assume that his fouls went down, and he had a lot of his blocks were kind of like the Anthony Davis, more of the Brook Lopez. Like they're bringing the guys to them, and they're getting the blocks that way. Whereas Jaren Jackson Jr., he's more so getting guys from behind, catching them from the weak side, stuff like that.
Do you think there's any chance that Jaren takes an extension early, or do you think he goes into free agency?
I definitely think he could take an extension early, but next summer, I mean, the money's gonna be good. Man, it's gonna be real good. And if he has an all-star caliber year, which is very plausible if the Grizzlies win some games, he's gonna have a lot of money on the table. It's gonna be the biggest contract in Grizzlies franchise history. And I mean, we don't know what it'll look like right now because, it depends on, if he's make all NBA, for example, all-star, incentives, things like that. But we're talking probably $250 to $300 million.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think the same way. I heard people saying, "Well, Jaren's definitely going into free agency." I'm like, well, I don't know. He may or not. You know what I mean? Yeah.
He's the first one of the three guys who will have that free will, I guess. But at the same time, I haven't seen anything. You know, the only time I've ever seen Jaren show, I guess you would categorize it as frustration, is like when some of these guys have been traded. From that, like when I'm talking more from like frustration towards the team or whatever. Yeah. But even then, like, he's been around basketball all his life. So from all the players that I covered, I would say he's a little bit better than some guys at separating the business from the personal.
Yeah.
Like he can articulate the fact that I don't like the fact that Xavier Tillman was traded on a personal level. But hey, he's going to Boston. He's getting a chance to play there on a team, on a winning team. He can articulate that part of it and be like, the business side, I get it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that
this is my guy.
That's my guy since college. So yeah.
Yeah, something else about Jaren too is that when he was hurt a few years ago, there was a frustration time there because it seemed like he wanted to play, but they weren't letting him come back. And you could see Jaren kind of being kind of petty and deleting tweets and liking certain tweets and all those type of things. But outside of that, it hasn't been nothing. That was a while ago too. He's matured. You're talking about a guy that's a totally different version of Jaren Jackson Jr. But as far as big men are concerned, we're talking about the whole big man situation, right? Very, very interesting story came out today. I gave you a call, saying, because these are conversations.
Saint Stradamus,
man. These are conversations we've been having for at least a few weeks now about the possibility of Houston showing interest in a guy like Marcus Smart if Brooklyn doesn't have interest in moving Mikal Bridges. Houston, a team who said that they valued bringing in a veteran player, a big name that can help, take their team to the next level. Who better than Marcus Smart, who's being on a 1 year 1 year lease plan for young teams in the NBA, right? So I look at that situation. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It says the Grizzlies are doing that in an effort to get up to Klingon. And we talked about the scenarios of while you're watching the draft of what would probably happen. Like we said, if Donovan Klingon doesn't go 1 or 2 and Houston takes him at 3, the water's boiling, right? That means that there's a good chance that deal has happened. And if we see Dalton Connect taken by the Grizzlies, that might mean that he's getting routed to Houston, right? It may look like the trade is happening. This is something me and Paris both said, we don't think this deal is going to happen before the draft because it kind of depends on how things shake out, especially if someone's available that Houston wants at 9. So with that being said, just looking at that deal in particular, if you're Zach Kleiman, is Donovan Klingon the type of guy that you say, because he's had a history of going up in the draft and getting who he wants to get.
Oh, for sure.
In 2019, he didn't get up good enough. I mean, not 2020. 21, whatever. The Zaire Williams year, he didn't get up high enough to get the guys he wanted. Do you think he'll make that mistake again, or do you think he'll do what he needs to do if Donovan Klingon is right there at 3 to be for the taking?
Yeah, I always categorize, Kleiman and the Grizzlies as like a controlled aggressiveness. That's their approach. And what I mean by that is, everyone should not be surprised when we get to the offseason when you hear the Grizzlies are involved in this, the Grizzlies are involved in that, the Grizzlies are, because that's their style. They're going to be in most, if not all, of the conversations.
Yeah.
If the Rockets are saying, hey, we got a pick for sale, the Grizzlies are for sure one of those teams is going to reach out and try to find out what's going on there. That's their style. But at the same time, it's controlled because, okay, what do you want for number 3? And then they say some outlandish number, and then the Grizzlies hang the phone up and say, okay, that's not it. That's not it. So they're going to be involved in all these conversations. And, I mean, I think it's real smoke, with the old Grizzlies Rockets thing. One, the course of the years, like Raphael Stone, Kleiman, those two had a solid relationship. We just saw the Steven Adams deal be the most recent one. That Houston and Memphis worked out. There was also the Dylan Brooks sign and trade, which, when you do a sign and trade, you have to orchestrate some things up.
Hadn't thought about that at all.
So this is a solid relationship between, you throw they're division rivals. They might not want to help each other get better and all that, but that's not really the case between these two. It's strictly business.
Because their sign and trade really didn't have to happen. They could have did that without it.
No,
and
definitely.
we helped them get Josh Christopher and
Exactly.
what's the name off the books. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Bro,
So
you kind of about to break the code in this joint, man.
yeah, I do not get surprised anytime we talk, Rockets Grizzlies, because there's a good history of a working relationship there. So I definitely think it's some smoke there. I've told you in the past, and I think I've written it a little bit as well. My only thing is I'm leaning more towards the idea that if the Grizzlies were to be in a trade with the Rockets, they would have to orchestrate a 3-team deal, more so than just a straight up trade and Marcus Smart in the pick or whatever the case may be. Because one thing that's very clear at this point is Houston wants vets, and Marcus Smart fits that part of it, but they want a star kind of it. They want an all-star, and that's what Marcus Smart doesn't fit. But Ime Udoka, that's the coach that turned him into a defensive player of the year. They have a great relationship. Udoka wants those, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Marcus Smart, Steven Adams type dudes that are going to come change the culture. Yeah. So he fits that brand. The only thing that makes me think, it would have to be 3 teams is because if you're the Rockets, there's a kind of some redundancy with, we were talking about it when Marcus Smart came over here with Dylan Brooks and Marcus Smart from like efficiency offensively standpoint. And then, they'll get great defenders and even Fred VanVleet from an efficiency standpoint to a certain degree. But at the same time, the Rockets have all the young pieces. Like now it's all about putting some real star power around those dudes. So I feel like the Grizzlies don't have that star to offer them. They got stars, but they ain't about to trade them to the Rockets. So you can kind of straight a 3-team deal where another team lets go of a star, sends them to Houston, and then the picks get moved around a little bit. I think that's the best way to do it. But yeah, the Grizzlies Rockets, I think it's very real.
So you saying that Marcus Smart would go to Houston and somebody else would go to Houston too?
No, I don't think Marcus Smart would be in that deal. He could be because mathematically wise, he does work. But if it's Marcus Smart, I think he would probably be. Yeah, he could theoretically go to Houston, but if you're doing a 3-team deal, the third team's got to get something. Yeah. So, like the one that I proposed in the story that I wrote was the Pelicans. Yeah. And that seemed like an easy one. And we saw, I think it was in the same story, the reports of, Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans kind of shopping him a little bit. That's been very clear because Zion Williams and Brandon Ingram at this point, it's an imperfect pairing and you need to do something. I could very well see a scenario where New Orleans, Houston, Memphis say, hey, look, Houston, you want your star? The Pelicans got a guy available, all-star player. You get Brandon Ingram. And then in that case, if you get Brandon Ingram, the Grizzlies can ship, pick number 9 to New Orleans and maybe, they get another couple players on top of it. The Grizzlies get some smaller players back. I think in the trade that I put out, I said Jashawn Tate, Jose Alvarado. Now you get a better backup point guard. And Jashawn Tate's more of a throw-in to make the math work financially. And then the Rockets get Brandon Ingram in that case. So I think Luke Kennard would go to the Pelicans because the Pelicans still need a bunch of shooting to put around Zion Williamson. So, we'll see. Like I feel like Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, one of them, we're probably talking about something happening. But it's real smoke there for sure.
I can't get with them. That straight. If I send Marcus Smart out, bro, somebody coming back that's gonna be a starter on my team. I'm gonna need a starter off of somebody.
Your starter is moving up to the number 3 pick.
Yeah, because you will be getting Clingan out.
You get Clingan. That's your potential starter. You ain't drafting somebody number 3 to ride the pine. Not the Grizzlies.
Let me throw this out there to you. Atlanta.
Okay.
It's trash.
They mid for sure. A
little birdie has been in my ear saying that they trying to blow some shit up over there. They trying to get off some money, right?
Right.
So you call Houston, you send Marcus Smart, freaky ass, Ime Udoka, we give you Marcus Smart. He was thirsty dog. Y'all send out Jake Landale and the freaky dude from the because you can't have 2 freaky ass dudes on one team. You already got Dylan and Udoka. We're gonna get the third one off, the one that was in the bubble cutting up. What's his name? We just talked about in the last segment. I can't think of the freaky dude. Him.
Udoka?
No, not the coach, man. He's a wing to play for Houston.
Daniel
Anyway,
House. Yeah.
We're gonna send Daniel House. We're gonna send Jake Landale, freaky tail. We're gonna send both of them to Atlanta. I want to say that one is an expiring, one is a non-guaranteed contract. Atlanta, y'all run us DeAndre Hunter. We're gonna send y'all another first round. We're gonna send y'all a future first. DeAndre Hunter come to Memphis. Atlanta get the cut salary and they get a future first round pick. We get DeAndre Hunter. Houston get Marcus Smart and they get the number 9 pick. And we get Daniel Houses with Philly. There's somebody else on their roster. It's somebody else. It ain't Daniel House.
Which roster are we talking about?
Houston got
Deshaun Tate.
Deshaun Tate,
Deshaun Tate was the one I mentioned.
Deshaun Tate, we're gonna send your freaky. Now you ain't freaky, but anyway, your tail going to Atlanta. Your expiring tail going. I think he's on expiring. We're gonna send your tail to Atlanta. Atlanta gonna cut Landale. They're gonna save that money. We're gonna get DeAndre Hunter. We're gonna send him a first round pick too. We got DeAndre Hunter. We're gonna have Klingon, and we good. And y'all get 9, and y'all get Marcus Smart. You heard it here first. Edit your article, man. The nighttime people ain't even seen it yet, man. The people who still at work, they ain't even seen it yet. Edit that joint, man. Throw it in there.
I see what you're trying to do. You more fixated on the idea of moving Marcus Smart.
I'm fixated on I need 8, 9 dudes ready for the playoffs who can hoop.
Yeah. You don't think Marcus Smart is
I mean, that's cool, but I'm saying if I can get a guy who's a true big versatile 3-4 wing on my team.
DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, because I'm tired of these conversations about Vincent Gigi. Vincent Gigi ain't never played nan game that mean nothing.
Yeah.
I don't really care about either one of them starting, to be honest. I think both of them could do it. But I'm tired of those arguments. Go get me
I get it. You want the proven dude. You don't want to be hopeful on.
Go give me a dude who's gonna solidify my starting lineup.
Yeah.
And I can have Gigi and Vince. I'm not counting on them as hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And I'm not particularly sure that Marcus Smart wants to be here. Like that's just kind of where I'm at. I don't really get the indication that this is like, I'm cool with whatever with the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's still kind of early for him. He hadn't played a lot of games.
Exactly.
And,
now, he's here. I'm down for it. Like we'll make it happen. But like I said, here's the thing about Klingon. I'm gonna get your thoughts on this too.
Yeah.
This is why I love the fact of getting a big in this draft. Whether you take him at 3, whether you take him at 9, whether you take him 15, 20, whatever it is. There are a lot of dudes that I think can do what the Grizzlies need to do. And watching
Derek Lively.
You're watching biracial, ambiguous dude, number 2038, who plays for Dallas. Watching him, Derek Lively, like watching him, right? It's like, I think anybody can do that. I think a lot of dudes could come in and do that. Like, can you jump?
Like some JaVale McGee with Golden State type stuff.
Can you play hard? Yes.
Tyson Chandler.
Right. Can you rebound? Yes. Are you active? Yes. I think there's a lot of dudes in the draft that can come in and do what Lively's doing for Dallas, right? Because it's not a sensational skill.
It's a simplified role, but it's DeAndre Ayton, you would think he was amazing at it, but
he didn't have that motor to give a damn.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, do I think Klingon could come in, rebound, set screens, be 7'4"? Yes.
Yeah.
Can I throw a lob to him? Clearly.
But you think it's some other guys in the draft that you can get.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Can Edie do it? Yes. Can Khalil Ware do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Can Yves Messi or whatever, can he do it? Yes. Yeah. Holmes, can he do it? I think there's a lot of dudes that can come in and solve the Grizzlies issue, right? Of needing a big man. So that being, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm with you because, like, the thing is, what I've been telling people is, right, you got 3 20-point per game scores in the starting lineup. You don't need somebody who's gonna come over here and post dudes up and fade away. Because when are they gonna be able to do it?
Right.
Like
we need a very stripped down version of Zach Edey. We don't need the full Zach Edey experience.
What you need from Zach Edey, let's like use him for an example. He'd be great for one thing in particular that stands out to me. I remember, you'll remember this too, that 2022 series against Golden State. Steven Adams didn't start that series starting because in the previous series he was benched and then COVID hit him and a bunch of stuff. But he started the series against the Timberwolves. Cat just kind of embarrassed him, put him on the bench. COVID hit him, and then he came back to Golden State series. Still wasn't started, and it was clear at a certain point. It's like Steven Adams needs to be started. I think I wrote about it. Next
Yeah.
game 3, game 4. I think it was game 4. He ends up starting. And then what happened was he was changing the game. But the one thing, and this is just this series that stood out, but it happened a lot. When teams switched on the Grizzlies, Steven Adams will take advantage of it with offensive rebounds and stuff. But we talk about how he's the strongest dude in the NBA and all that. There were so many times he would put dudes under the rim and then he just miss a bunny or wouldn't even, and Zach Edey.
What we made Steven Adams to be and what
Yeah.
Steven Adams actually was for this team are not the same thing, bro.
Yeah. Zach Edey is 7'4", and you put him, Draymond Green, for example, was guarding,
And
was
Kevon
guarding.
Looney got 20 boys on his ass. Come on, bro.
Yeah. He closed the series out on him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that part.
Yeah, bro. But the thing I'm trying to say is, if you get one of those dudes and they work right, you're
Yeah.
talking about a guy that, for all intents and purposes, with this CBA situation you got going on, you got a guy who's going to be on a baby contract
Yep.
for the entire run of Jaren and Ja in Bang.
That's why this pick is important to me.
That's what I'm saying. If you can find a cheap big in this draft who you think can do the thing, man, go get him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's why I think Klingon is the best out of that group. I think that because I think a lot of people are looking at this year's version of Klingon, but I think the Grizzlies have been scouting Klingon for a while. I think that if you go back and look at some freshman film of Klingon,
Yeah.
there were some elements of his game that he couldn't do physically this year.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Zubac with the Clippers.
Yeah. I think Klingon, but he's 7'4". You know what I mean?
Zubac, big dude too. I think he's like
He's
7'1".
though. Yeah, give me 3 more inches. Hey, give me 3 more inches anywhere, and there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Pause, but
hey yo.
give me the ability of 3 more inches. That give me 3 more inches.
You give you 3 more inches and you get the
give me the power of 3 more inches. Not that
every man out there just said amen.
Right. Exactly, bro. But it's just like I think this draft, man, and like I said, there's so many scenarios. Like the Grizzlies they can go up and go get Klingon, right? And draft's over. Or they could stay at 9 and they can take Edey, they can take Khalil Ware, they could take Holmes, they could do whatever they're doing at 9, or they could trade down and get one of those dudes. Or you could draft a wing.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a versatile wing. You could go get Dalton Connect, who's a plug and play guy who can, if nothing else, he could be a spot up shooter. You can go get a guy like Ron Holland, who very long runway with this kid. He could be a Jaylen Brown. He could be a Jimmy Butler type dude, or he could be somebody that just can run fast and can't do nothing else.
Dunk on dudes,
right? Dunk on guy. You may not be able to do nothing, but there's just so many options you have in the draft. And like I said, you could take a wing at 9, and you can go get. And I talked to Chris Ingram about this off the air.
Yeah.
If the Grizzlies go get Goga Batadze, right?
Yeah, I've been talking about him for a while. Yeah.
You're going to win 55, 60 games with that dude if you get him in starting center.
Because he's going to play defense and rebound.
Right. If you go get Andre Drummond, we're going to win 55, 60 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening. If you go get the kid with the glasses, Jalen Smith, we're going to win 55. I mean, it doesn't really take this Superman.
Don't need too much, man. Yeah.
And I hear people saying, let's go get Jared Allen. If I get a center, I want room to go get something else too. I don't want $25 million invested in my starting center. That's just not going to work in today's NBA. Now, would I be happy if Jared Allen plays in my team? Sure. But can I get it?
All-star though.
Right. But can I get it done with Khalil Ware? Yes. And I think I can get it done this season with him. I think.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but if Jared Allen's on the market, that's priority for me. And then, because I think it's easier in this draft to get the shooting than get the bigs. Like the bigs, all of them have question marks. All of them. Klingon, there's a reason Klingon is in the top 10, SAR's in the top 10. Then after that, there's kind of like some lottery hopefuls, so to speak.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, those are the SAR and Klingon are the only kind of like surefire top 10 picks. But you got a couple shooters like a Dalton Connect. I think, it should be easy to project that he's going to be a decent NBA shooter. Reed Shepherd, 52% in SEC play from 3-point range.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy to project that he's going to be a decent, NBA 3-point shooter. And that's right up there with the bigs. Shooting is a major need for this team too.
All right, Damichael. Now, I know you know stuff happens that break Twitter sometimes, but sometimes a trade story will come in that'll break the show, man. We had some glitches going on with the show, but I was froze for a minute. Breaking news just came in. Agent Wojnarowski broke the story that Alex Caruso has been traded from Chicago to Oklahoma City for freak-ass Josh Giddey. How disrespectful is it to DeMar DeRozan, who was just who was just performing? You know what I mean?
He was just dancing to this song, right?
Just performance a day not like us, and then you bring a dude who is not like us to the team at all, with freak ass 69 god Josh Giddey coming to your Josh Kiddey coming to your team in Chicago. What are your thoughts on the trade? Looks like Chicago is trying to get a point guard. Josh Giddey is probably better on the ball than playing off of SGA because he's horrible shooting the ball. So maybe that makes sense for Chicago. Get a big guard who can ball, who's a ball handler. What are your thoughts on the trade? Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. Breaking news just came up.
Yeah, Chicago adding another ball handler to the lineup. I mean, I think that works well for them. But on a serious note, man, I
want to raise the age limit for the cheerleaders. Make sure they're 21.
I like this deal. I like this deal both ways, because with Alex Caruso, we know what you're gonna get from him. He's gonna give you great defense, and he shot the ball much better in Chicago days than when he was shooting with the Lakers. So I mean, to me, it's like Oklahoma City almost is building like a mini Boston. You got two real like all defensive caliber guards, or whatever you consider those, like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Lou Dort is all defensive team caliber player. Alex Caruso now. Jalen Williams was a lot of those games in the playoffs. He was taking the primary assignments against certain matchups and whatnot. He guarded Kyrie a lot. He guarded Luka some, and Lou Dort would mainly guard Luka, but he guarded Kyrie a lot. The same thing in the first round. So they got 4 defenders plus Chet, which is 5. Yeah. So they're building kind of like this all defensive team where you have a lot of two-way talent as well, especially starting with Shai. Because people forget, like, we don't talk about Shai that much as a defender anymore, but that's how he came in the league. Like when he was a lottery pick, the thing that everybody was talking about was the defensive, makeup, and of course there was the shot creativity and all that, but defensively he was already that guy. Yeah. Now, for Chicago, I like it simply because you just pointed it out. Josh Giddey was in a situation in Oklahoma where he wasn't, playing a role that kind of like maximized his talent. Like I think he's actually a solid player, but he's a primary. Yeah, he's a primary playmaker. When you put somebody like that off of the ball, that's like, imagine, not comparing him to this guy, but to a lesser degree, like Rajon Rondo in his early Boston days when he couldn't shoot a lick.
But you got to mention
and you got Ray Allen or Paul Pierce doing most of the ball handling. Teams are going to sag off of him like they did against Josh Giddey, and it's going to be a problem. But the fact that Rondo ran the offense, they were able to win a championship. Now, basketball completely different and whatnot, but I'm interested to see what Josh Giddey would look like in a situation where they can say, hey, this is your offense now. You got DeMar DeRozan right here. You got Zach LaVine. You got Vucevic. You got Patrick Williams. You got a couple other. You got Kobe White. Make something out of it. And, it's also it's kind of a red flag to me, too, with the Lonzo Ball situation, which, for sure. It is what it is. But, I hate that because, he was super talented to me, and he was really starting to figure it out.
Yeah. I kind of like what you said about how Oklahoma City is kind of making a kind of a bizarro Boston Celtics team with 2 versatile defenders that are, guard wing guys. SGA,
Lou and Alex Caruso going.
Yeah, SGA and Williams would be like your
Brown and Tatum.
Yeah, Brown and Tatum or whatever. And then you got Porzingis would be like
Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's literally.
Yeah, it's like you got you told ChatGPT, make me Boston but weirdos. What does Boston but with a bunch of weird goofballs look like? A bunch of inbred looking dudes. Crack baby looking Boston Celtics. Yeah, cool.
Crack baby Celtics, man.
You need to trade for Alex Caruso. Okay, cool. Great. That's all I need to do. All right, great. We got it. We got it. Thanks, ChatGPT. But yeah, real quick, we got Damichael Cole, the big dog, on I gotta be messy, bro. Sorry.
Man.
The main voice on Locked On Grizz, my boy Damichael Cole is here.
Oh man. I didn't know where you was going with the big dog stuff. I didn't know where you were going with it.
Oh man, I gotta be petty, bro. I can't help it, bro. I can't help it. But anyway. All right, real quick before we go, what does a perfect night for the Grizzlies look like on draft night for you?
Man, perfect night. Perfect night is I'm gonna throw a curveball for you right here. The Grizzlies trade back. They unload on one of the unwanted players in my mind. Not the Grizzlies necessarily line, but basically you unload on one of the players who we know is not going to be in the rotation. Trade back to probably 14, 15, 16 in that range. And you trade either a Zaire Williams. I'd say Zaire just for the sake of the conversation. Trade Zaire Williams, and you end up at 14 or 15, and you get a Khalil Ware. I think now you've created an extra opening on your roster where you have another opening for free agency, where you can potentially double up on bigs in free agency, or you can go get you a big, a veteran big to go with your rookie big, and go get a shooter of some sort in free agency, because now you have more roster flexibility. Or you can bring a Lamar Stevens back, which right now you don't really have the option of doing because of the roster crunch. Right now you got 14 guys under contract. It'll be 15 on draft night if Luke Kennard's team option is picked up. So perfect Grizzlies draft night is simple. To me, it's creating a little bit more roster flexibility and still getting a promising big man.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, that's Damichael Cole. You know him as the beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. Also from Locked On Grizzlies with him, my good friend Joe Mullinax. So make sure y'all go check him out, man. About to take a break. When we come back, it's a three-pointer here on Anthony the Sain Show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Can we give a cheers to these fellas tonight? Raise a glass to the lads. Quavo and Moneybag Yo are all in with Ryan Silverfield. I don't know how he did it. Quavo TJ has 24 million followers on Instagram. And yesterday on his story posted an official visit picture of Antoine Hill in a Memphis jersey and tagged Moneybag Yo saying, "Take care of my guy. He's a real one." And then Moneybag Yo put it on his, who's got another 10 million followers. You're about 35 million people across the globe are expecting Antoine Hill to be a Memphis Tiger now. Quavo and Moneybag Yo are all in on the Tigs. And that's all I'm going to listen to the whole football season.
That's right.
We're not losing a game.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
On the topic of size, though, the other guy you have low here, I'm going to bring your board back up, is one I think is going to stand out to a lot of people, and that is number 14. That's way lower than a lot of people have him, and I know most Grizz fans out there, unless they're Zach Edey fans, are saying if Klingon's there at 9, you've got to pull the trigger.
I'm just not big on a lot of the bigs, honestly, and I think with Klingon, I think he is what he is. He is very similar to Walker Kessler to me, and Walker Kessler became a backup for a 31-win Utah Jazz team. He looks clumsy to me. He does not finish well. The ball's kind of always flipping around, and that's just not someone that I'm looking for the Grizzlies. And anytime, like, just kind of a draft rule for me is if he's a big man and he's not elite, I'm not taking him in the top 14.
Come hang out with Daniel Greer and Nathan Qualls on Grizz 901 Live. Every Tuesday night at 9:01 live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Time for the three-pointer where we talk about three things that are going on in the world of sports. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on out here, man. My man, Perry Sharkey. Number one, JJ Redick hired as the new coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, man. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I ain't gonna say it. Ain't gonna be the dumbest thing I've ever
I mean,
seen.
they tried something before.
But as far as the guy taking the job as his first job is crazy.
Yeah.
The Lakers, you know, they had their Pat Riley, right? They had their guy that's gonna come in, young, innovative, and do things, and Dan Hurley. That didn't work out. So they got the other Pat Riley. Who would have known that 2 Pat Rileys exist? 3 Pat Rileys exist.
3, I would say Pat Riley himself.
Because they found 2 of them this summer, right? So I think it's crazy, man. I think this is a horrible job for him to take. This is a job that LeBron James will not be on this team in a couple of years. This team is going to be totally uprooted in a couple of years. Anthony Davis is going to want off of this team in a couple of years. This team is going to be horrible, and this is the team he's taking. JJ Redick could have sat back, did the Steve Kerr thing, went and got a job from a team that's up and coming. You know, and he could have did his thing. We could have went to just a program that won't be as volatile. It won't have the expectation level as the Lakers are concerned. I just think I don't get it. I just think it's a horrible decision for him to go here. This first year with LeBron James is going to be hell. And he's probably going to lose a good friendship. We're probably going to lose a good podcast. Like it's I don't get it. I don't.
Dang, man.
The money, I get it. But bro, there are 30 jobs in the NBA. If he didn't take this one this year, somebody was going to give him one.
He was about to interview for Detroit, where we talk about next, but he was about to interview for Detroit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't get it at all. Speaking of which, Monty Williams, my boy, was fired on his day off. Not only his day off, fired on Juneteenth. Monty Williams.
Dang.
I don't look at it as an L at all, man. This man is away from a horrible organization. Mega payday. I think they owe him like 65 million.
65 over the next 5 years.
Yeah. And it's, you know, like I said, he gets to keep that money and not have to go to work for Monty Williams.
Literally.
I don't understand why the Lakers didn't come back this way. It's so bizarre, bro. This whole thing is absolutely bizarre to me. Monty Williams, like I said, a very talented coach. He's a guy I would like to see the Grizzlies get on their bench. I'm just be honest with you. I would love to see Taylor Jenkins and Zach Kleiman, whoever's going to hire the assistant coaches, to reach out to Monty Williams, get him on this bench, man. He's a guy who I think would be a good asset to this team. And if not, sit at home, get your money, be a commentator, do absolutely nothing. You got $54 million coming your way. Monty Williams, shout out to you. Black history legend, finessing on Juneteenth. Shout out to my boy Monty. Number 3, Paris Sharkey. We're moving kind of fast through these. Number 3, man. The University of Memphis got some updates. Joe Cooper, the most important walk-on in the history of basketball. I watched Antonio Burks, star for the University of Memphis as a walk-on. Like I watched this with my own 2 eyes, man, or 4 eyes, if you want to say it, for Antonio Burks. Maybe Joe Cooper may be the bigger, even bigger than Antonio Burks was for the University of Memphis. Joe Cooper released a statement talking to my boy Parks with the Daily Memphian. Who is he with? No, he's with
commercial. I think commercial. No, he was Daily Memphian. He's Daily Memphian.
Yeah, my boy Park was saying that Joe Cooper was like, I ain't really had much relationship with Penny. I thought I was gonna get a scholarship. Basically, that didn't happen, and communications broke down. Dude, who gives a damn? You a damn walk on, bro? Like I don't mean why is this even conversation, bro? Like Penny, you gotta have something else. Like come on, man. David Jones, sure. I don't care about Joe Cooper feeling the cold shoulder of Penny Hardaway.
I guess ain't he a Memphis kid? That's probably why it's news.
You can't put your hands on all these Memphis kids, bro. Like because they started doing a little something, everybody get in the ear, and then
where everybody at, man? They gonna play for the city. Where they at?
Where they at, man? You run out of kids that can play for the city. Oh, but there's one. Paris Sharkey. Oh, but there is one. Jonathan Lawson was in the bootleg Bluff City Classic. I can't think of what the name of it is. I want to go to this thing.
The Pro-Am.
Yeah, because it's inside of the Crosstown, which I think is awesome. Yeah. The secret gym that's inside of the Crosstown.
Right, I'm so like, what did y'all need?
Like, bro, what is it?
Now you know it's a high school over there.
Bro, the Crosstown Concourse, it may be aliens. Somebody said it's like an indoor swimming pool. That joint, bro. The Crosstown Concourse needs to be investigated, bro. For real, bro. Them folks got a whole high school, but you don't see no classes. I've seen the school. I've seen parts of the school. I can't really tell you how. Yeah, you gotta have all access to get into it. But I've seen the school. But where the gym is, I have no clue. But there is a gym inside Crosstown Concourse. It's not part of the YMCA inside there. There is a high school gym inside the Crosstown Concourse. So they have Pro-Am games. Jonathan Lawson played in the opening night. Shot well, and it brought the conversation. Why is Jonathan Lawson not playing for the University of Memphis. He transferred from, I think, Creighton, I believe.
Great, yeah.
It
didn't really play. Yeah, they made to the Elite Eight last year, or no, Sweet
something like
16.
Yeah, and he hasn't signed with anybody else, as far as my knowledge is concerned. And then he said that Penny has reached out to him. Memphis fans got upset. And the common refrain is people get upset because one person, friend of mine, Chuck Lawson, who hosts a radio show, 88.5, a prep show, he gets on Twitter and defends his nephew. And because of that, we don't want Jonathan Lawson back. Like, man, I mean,
it makes no sense.
Can he play? I think he can. Could he help this team? Probably could. You know what I mean? So if he wants to come back, he's a Memphis kid. Make it happen, man. Get somebody that can play for the city, man. But when we take a break, man, we're going to talk about somebody else that was playing for the city. Kendrick Lamar had to my knowledge, secret concert last night that brought the whole West Coast together and served as the funeral for Aubrey Graham. We'll talk about that and more when we have the 3-pointer here on the Anthony Sain Show, sponsored by good friends at Creative Sig. We'll see you guys in a minute.
I am about to plant my flag, brother. On June 10th, I have made my declaration. I am on the John Collins to Memphis train. Give me somebody whose game fits versus just who has the big name that you would love. The reason why he got traded from the Atlanta Hawks, he had a finger injury. Before his finger injury, he was a three-point shooting threat, also a lob threat, also a rim running big that could just stretch the floor, 15 points, almost 9 rebounds, a block a game, 62% true shooting percentage, 37 from 3. You cannot tell me that does not work next to Jaren Jackson Jr., especially if your idea is to run a 5-out offense. The guy is almost at 9 rebounds, which we need. He's stretching the floor with his 3-ball. And he's a rim runner. He is the perfect person to put in between Ja and Jaren.
Tune into the No Bluffing Podcast with your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes, every Monday at 12 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. At CreativeSig, our top priority is to provide the best customer service experiences possible while offering the largest variety of vape supplies, legal THC products, and smoking accessories. Our trained sales associates are here to assist any and all customers to help them find the best products available. With our daily deals, weekend deals, loyalty rewards program, and our punch card program, there are tons of rewards to earn to help our customers save plenty of money along the way. Check out one of CreativeSig's 4 locations across the greater Memphis area and come visit us.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show, man. It's time for a segment we call Inside the Sain Brain, brought to us by our good friends at Creative Sig, 4 area locations. You might see me at the joint on 10 North Main. You might see my guy Kenny Stubblefield at the joint out there in Collierville. You ain't gonna see Perry Sharkey in there at all. He's not a smoker. He's not a vapor. He's not a Delta 8 user. He's not a nicotine user either. My guy Perry Sharkey keeps it clean, keep it straight edge for y'all. But it's all good, man. If you like to get into the marijuana products, the Delta 8 products, if you're a nicotine user, you like to vape, check out Creative Sig, man. Ask for the Saint Asylum pack, man. Ask for it by name. If you're a nicotine user, I got a Saint Asylum package for you. I don't know what's inside of it though. I ain't gonna hold you, but ask for it. It got some cold stuff in that joint. It got some Nick juice and all that type of stuff in there, man. Go grab that joint, man. Get all that. The Nick juice. Get all that. All that, man, is in there. I ain't got my stuff today, man. Kenny on vacation. Blame him. I don't know what to tell you. Go get that, man. Go get the Saint Asylum nicotine pack. If not, go get the Saint Asylum Delta 8 pack. I can tell you about that when it comes with a pre-roll, man. Get you a pre-roll in that joint. Get you a bag of gummies. And it comes with a disposable cart. Grab that joint at Creative Sig, man. 4 area locations in the city of Memphis. Go check them out. Creative Sig, they will get you straight, man. They have a very, very nice team of people that will take you by the hand, whether you are a vet or a newbie in the smoking world, man. They will get you right at Creative Sig. Speaking of people that will come in as a team, man, I was not expecting anything from my Juneteenth celebration was ending. I went to Slice of Soul and got me some pizza and some wings, man. And I was ready to end my night. Got me a good drink, good stiff drink too, Perry Shark. My night was getting ready to end. I get bombarded with saying that there is a impromptu, in my mind, concert hosted by Kendrick Lamar and friends, and it was all this red and blue was on the screen, and all the gangs were coming together, and all these West Coast rappers were coming out, and he called the pop out. I'm asking you, did you know this was even happening before last night?
No, I found out literally. I want to believe it already started even when I found out. I saw somebody tweeting about it, and then I Googled it. And I was like, oh, this might got a concert. Oh, damn, it's on Amazon. Oh, let me check it out. And I saw the time. It was like 7 Central or like 4 Central or 4 Pacific time zone. So I was like, okay, it was 7 o'clock our time. So like, damn, it just started at 6. But by the time I tuned in, Kendrick and Kelter to be almost close to 9. So it was literally Ken and friends. It was friends for the first 2-3 hours. Then Kendrick Lamar came out there. So yeah, I found out literally during the concert last night.
I've seen clips of it. I'm gonna take time to watch it. I was like, man, this thing better be like on Amazon. I can just go watch it at any time.
I believe it is.
Yeah, so I haven't confirmed it. I've been super busy that I haven't had a chance to look at it. I will go watch that joint. It's a must watch for sure. I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan as well as a Drake fan. I'm a bigger Drake fan than I am Kendrick Lamar though. They're 1A and 1B to me, and I think nobody else is close to them. I never got into the whole J. Cole is better than them or up there. No, it was never a big 3.
Hey. And to be fair, even me, I'm a J. Cole fan more than the other 2.
Yeah.
But on pecking order, I always thought J. Cole was 3rd.
Yeah.
Although I can't not say I'm a J. Cole fan, but he was 3rd behind the 2.
But with that being said, they can't make me hate Drake, bro. Like, they can't. I've been bumping Drake today. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I can't. You can't make me hate Drake. But with that being said, this looks effing phenomenal. I'm definitely gonna check this joint out. But I need y'all to start riding dick, man. Y'all riding dick a little bit too hard for me, man. Because it's like y'all out there acting like y'all really been bumping West Coast rap for the last 20 years, and y'all ain't. No, Kendrick Lamar is way above his friends. You know what I mean? But it's crazy because back in the day, the West Coast sound was one West Coast sound. Everybody sounded the same, right? Now you got guys like Tyler the Creator. You got guys like Roddy Ricch. You got guys like what's his name?
YG.
YG. You got guys Steve Lacy. All 5 totally different sounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Schoolboy Q, I think he's a West Coast.
Schoolboy Q.
But you don't have the
it's J Rock from West Coast.
I think he is,
yeah.
Like I said, I will check out the show. I think it's gonna be great. Y'all are riding dick super hard. They dancing on my boy Dre Grave, man.
Hey,
the king of summer, man. He's coming back, man. I'm mourning. I'm not mourning the death of Drake, man. I'm just mourning the toxic duos that we won't see anymore, man. You won't see Drake and Future anymore. You won't see Drake and Rick Ross anymore. You won't see Drake and French Montana. That would hurt me in my side. No more Drake and French Montana, man.
He made some real enemies out here. I don't know what Drake did behind the scenes to these folks, bro.
In a midlife crisis, man, right here in front of us, man. And my boy K-Dot pissed on his grave. Got my boy out here singing Plain White Tee songs, and that joint he did with Sexy Red was hot. I ain't gonna lie to that joint got off. That joint got off. I ain't gonna lie to you, especially when he did the BBL Drizzy beat and rapped on that joint. Like, hey, acknowledging how you got clown, I'll take that. But that Plain White Tee song you did with that dude, like Drake, you got some mental damage. You out here like Uncle Howdy in this joint, man, for WWE. Bro. You traumatized.
Hey. Right? Yeah, if I could speak to like what Kendrick did, like I was wondering, was he gonna use this concert to really like? I knew he was gonna probably perform some diss songs, but like his first song was Euphoria.
Yeah.
And he rapped that junk the whole 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Then with the other songs, then he put 616 in LA in there.
Yeah.
Then he skipped Meet the Grounds, which I'm glad he did. I think that would have been
I don't want to hear all that, bro.
That'd been a little too crazy. But then
don't get the women off, bro. Come on, keep it a vibe, bro, for real.
Then he repeated Not Like Us 5 times.
See, I've heard somebody said 6. I've heard 4.
Well, it was 6. So as they were walking on stage, they played it 6 times, but they're all walking on stage, so he actually performed it the 6 times.
Okay. Yeah. But somebody said that they're actually recording a video for their song, and that's why
I heard that too.
That's kind of why they did it that many times to get as much footage as they could. Like I said, it seems like a tremendous night for hip hop, right? So it's definitely something I'm gonna go back and watch. Like I said, I'm a Drake fan, bro. I'm not gonna stop listening to Drake because he's taking L's right now. Like that ain't happening, bro. Right. I got too many hits. I got too many hits that my go-tos, bro.
And speak to that as well. Like even me, I'm not the hugest Drake fan, but if he come out with something that's bumping,
I'm bumping it.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. Like
he come out in, he drop an album tomorrow. If he drop an album tonight, I'm bumping it, John.
Right, I'm gonna check it out and see what he's talking about.
And But I'm gonna say this: I don't want this to come out like I'm shading Kendrick. I am, but I don't want to come out like I dislike Kendrick. Kendrick is my second favorite rapper. But y'all better enjoy this Kendrick Lamar music because y'all ain't gonna hear shit.
Oh yeah, gonna hear nothing about you.
and I don't know if you.
He reaching that age. He reaching that age where this might be it.
Man, this might be it. Enjoy this Kendrick Lamar music while you can, because the next one gonna be about some trauma or some therapy or something. When he drop another one, and you know. Just like I don't know if you're a Spider-Man fan, you know I'm a comic book.
Oh yeah, I love Spider-Man. Yeah, that's my favorite.
If you seen the Spider-Man movie with Green Goblin, how the mask was talking to him, the mask kept calling like avenge me and all that type of stuff. Yeah. The flute is calling Kendrick Lamar. Don't get it twisted. The flute is ultimately calling him. He will be the next Andre 3000 man who puts down rap to play. The flute is calling him. Just know that, bro. Man. Enjoy all this Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, get up, C-Walk, and all that. Yeah, all that. Put your red on for Tupac, and they're not like us, and they're bringing the West together. You ain't finna hear shit else for 4-5 years. He finna disappear on y'all ass. He said, y'all better put that, shit not like us on repeat, because I ain't got shit else for you. When he come back, he gonna be on some weirdo shit. So just get ready for it. It's coming. It is coming. But like I said, I have to check that out this weekend. It's definitely a must watch. It looks like it's something that was super dope for hip hop, man. I'm a huge Tyler Creator's number 3 to me.
Oh yeah, he killed it. I missed his performance, but I heard his performance like outside of Kendrick.
Tyler's one of the most talented artists, period.
Yeah, he is.
Like I said, as far as my rap hip hop guys, it's right now currently like in my rotation, it's gonna be Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Tyler's number 3, bro. Like, to me, like, that's my guy for sure. I listen to him more than I listen to Cole. I have so many opinions about J. Cole that I have arguments with people about. But, yeah, Tyler's my guy for sure. But, man, I have to check that out this weekend. And this weekend, you might want to check out my guys at Creative Sig. 4-area location. Let them get you straight, man. If you're trying to get you a nice little marijuana thing going in to continue this Juneteenth weekend. I ain't just making no Juneteenth no day. I'm taking the whole weekend. You better be glad I ain't going all the way up to July the 3rd on y'all ass, man. You remember that during the pandemic, man? When people were shooting fireworks every day?
Every day.
Every
damn day.
I was like, I feel good.
From 19th to the 4th.
Right now. We just damn y'all dogs. We're gonna pop fireworks every night. Damn your goddamn dog. We shooting fireworks every night in the name of Juneteenth. And it was in protest of the George Floyd stuff that was going on. From Juneteenth until July 3rd, people were popping fireworks every night. And I was loving being woken out of my sleep every night during the shutdown. Whatever was going on during that time. but Sharky, for my man Damichael Cole, appreciate your brother. Next time we have a show, man, it's gonna be draft night. Next Wednesday for the Anthony Sain show. Check out Daniel Greer's draft coverage that's gonna be going on. I think for picks 1 through 14, if I'm not mistaken.
The lottery.
Yeah, the lottery. With my man Daniel Greer. Bluff City Media is gonna be live. Grizz 901 will be live during the draft. Make sure y'all check that out next week. It's gonna be off the chain. My boy D Greer been doing this thing this entire offseason. Like I said, for my boy Perry Sharkey, this is Anthony Sain. We'll see y'all next week, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.